Hey, this is Steve Ninja. Tonight I'm with Wade Markey again.
Hello there out there in YouTube land. It's Wade Markey back with Steve Ninja. I'm glad to be back.
Yeah. Last time we had such a great time doing our top 10 horror movies. I thought tonight we're going to come back and do our top 10 John Carpenter movies. And it's like a topic both of us are huge John Carpenter fans, just like most people, especially our age group for sure. But I thought this would be a lot of fun just to give our top 10. So I'm going to have Wade start with his number 10, and then I'll do my 10, and we'll just go back and forth.
Okay, so we're going to start with my greatest John Carpenter movies of all time. And I love John Carpenter. I've met him before. He's a great guy. And I met him at Horror Hound in Chicago, and he was a great man. He was very nice to me. And my wife took a picture of him when he was signing my Halloween picture. So anyway, we'll just go ahead and start it off here. So my number 10 of all-time John Carpenter movies is from 1992, and it's Memoirs of an Invisible Man. And Steve, you want to go ahead and show it? Because I don't own a copy of that, but go ahead and show it. There it is. So it's from 1992, and this stars Chevy Chase and Daryl Hannah. And I thought this was a great mix of action, comedy, and it had Chevy Chase's great Fletch humor in it too. I thought it could have easily been a sequel to Fletch, because if Fletch became an invisible man, I thought the humor in this and his Fletch humor was in this film the entire way. And I thought this was a great, reimagining of the Invisible Man story. So I thought the direction was great in it, and it's my number 10. I saw this movie and I was like, oh man, I love this movie. So it cracked my top 10 immediately of his when I saw it, when it came out.
Well, who doesn't love Chevy Chase for sure? I mean, vacation movies. I mean, who doesn't watch Christmas Vacation every year? I do. So
it's a tradition.
And the original Vacation. I even like European Vacation. So, but yeah, that's, some people think of John Carpenter as just doing like horror movies, but he does, movies like this, comedies and just kind of strange kind of movies, but he does everything. So that's a good pick, Lee.
Thanks, man. Yeah, we'll move it on to your number 10. Go ahead, Steve.
So my number 10, this movie was hated when it was released in 1996. It's a movie that I love the soundtrack to, Escape from LA.
Yeah, it does have a good soundtrack. Yeah,
it's the movie's here. This is a collector's edition. A lot of people hate the CGI or whatever, the rear projection when he's on a surfboard, and he's with Peter Fonda, the late Peter Fonda, Jane Fonda's brother. And so that's usually the scene that's really cheesy, but in this movie's more of a parody, I guess, of Escape from New York. But I still love it though. I bought the collector's edition, so I must have really liked it. And I used to have the DVD that had like nothing on it, and I think I had another Blu-ray that surprisingly didn't have any special features on it either. And this one has has more special features on it, but it's still not, it's still not everything. I don't think it doesn't have a commentary on it, but it does have some featurettes and stuff on it. So I really love it. And like I said, I really love the soundtrack. I think the soundtrack tells it.
and it's got a cameo in it that most people probably wouldn't recognize him underneath the mad scientist makeup in it.
Right, Bruce.
Anyone guess who that cameo is?
Bruce Campbell plays the Surgeon General or something like that.
Surgeon General, that's right. Well, I call him a mad scientist, but the Surgeon General, that's
right.
Unrecognizable, really, underneath that makeup. But yeah, he does a great cameo in it. And really, it's basically the same plot as Escape from New York for the most part, except not near as dark, not near as atmospheric movie as Escape from New York was. That's for sure.
It's much more comical than Escape from New York, but I really love it though. It's cheesy, but
it's definitely entertaining to watch. Definitely, yeah. I agree.
Okay, what's your number 9, Wade?
Okay, so my number 9, I gotta. Let me just kind of get off screen here first. Can you see me for a second?
I'll stall over.
Here we go.
No.
From 1988, it's They Live, John Carpenter's They Live.
Yeah.
And I have this mask. Yes.
Yeah.
But yes, Love They Live. It's got the longest fight scene ever recorded in a movie. And
With Keith
the
David,
black
yeah.
and white transition scenes to the aliens are great. And the messages, obey, so many different messages. And I just thought it's a great film.
Yeah, Roddy Piper. It's got Roddy Piper.
That's my number 9
Yeah.
Carpenter movie.
Anybody that loved
Very entertaining.
wrestling, like when I was a kid, Roddy Piper was a big deal. Like especially in the 80s. And it's like one of the first wrestlers I saw in WWF. It was still WWF at the time. Now it's WWE, and sadly he's no longer alive. So, yeah, that's a great one. So my number 9 is going to be this one, it's Village of the Damned.
Yes.
Christopher Reeve.
Christopher Reeve, one of his last movie roles.
Before he had his big accident. Yeah, before he was paralyzed,
Got paralyzed. That's right. Yeah.
This one's really eerie. It's a remake, but I thought he did a really good job with this. I think technically his second remake. I don't know if he did any other. I don't think he did any other remakes, but yeah, this is one of those.
Oh, he did. The Thing.
Well, the thing in this.
Oh, did you say that, or I didn't know?
Yeah. I think he's only one of two remakes. Yeah, this is like a second one, but yeah, I like this. The kid. I used to have a big movie poster of this that would creep people out. Like I think it had in my bedroom when I was younger. Actually, probably in my mid-20s or so. But yeah, I love Village of the Damned. Really great.
Yeah, it's got Mark Hamill in it too.
Mark Hamill, yeah.
Great to see him, because when he was in that, I hadn't seen him in a movie in a while. I was like, oh wow, Mark Hamill's in this, and it was great to see him back in a movie.
Yeah, he's had a major career being a voiceover actor. I mean, he's got a great voice. The Joker, and I think he did Chucky not a couple years ago, and some people didn't like that so much, but Mark Hamill's got definitely a great voice, and he knows a lot of people in the industry that do voiceovers and stuff, and he knows that whole crowd. I think he did the comic book, the movie, and had a lot of other voiceover actors were in that movie, and so was Bruce Campbell was in that as well. But yeah, I love that one. Okay, what's your number 8?
Number 8, and I don't own it, but it's from 1986, and this 1986 Carpenter movie, he stepped outside of his normal horror genre for this one, and made a fantasy martial arts mixed comedy movie called Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah,
starring the great Kurt Russell, who used again. They make Carpenter him are like peanut butter and jelly. They go together so well.
That's why Escape from LA was their last time when they worked together in a movie. But yeah, they worked 5 times together, including the first one was a TV movie about Elvis, a tribute to Elvis. Right. I think like a year after Elvis died. Yeah, this. I got together with some friends 2 or 3 years ago. We went to like a landmark theater, like an art house kind of theater, and they did like a midnight showing of this. And I've always loved this movie. I love the action in it, and I love Kurt Russell's character in it. So Jack, what's his last name? Got my phone here. I can't remember his last name.
Jack Keaton. Is it Keaton? No. What is it?
Jack. Hold on, let me look at it.
I'm spacing out.
Yeah. I got it right here. Jack Burton.
We're supposed to be film experts, and we should know.
Yeah. It's been a little while, but yeah, Jack Burton. Jack Burton.
Jack Burton, yes.
Yes. He's great. Great in that character, but that will come back up later. But okay, so my number 8 is going to be this one, which is a lot of people kind of hated this when it was released, but it's a Prince of Darkness. Yeah, it's like 1987. It was always the ending that kind of bothered me about this. So I think I was 14 when this was released, but I've watched, when I bought this the 4K and Blu-ray combo, and watching it again especially on Blu-ray, just definitely brings the movie out. It's got a lot of special features on it, and I've kind of grown to really love this movie after a while, and I hated it back then. Alice Cooper makes a cameo in this, and just a really eerie kind of movie. really bleak, kind of end of the world kind of vibe to it, and that kind of leaves you kind of thinking about it after you see it, and especially when I was 14, it was something that really kind of bothered me back then.
And I think it's not one of my top 10 of his. However, I think his score and music and the slow burnness of it is effective in that movie, and that doom doom, that slow, that classic Carpenter doom doom, builds the suspense and builds the drama going on with Prince of Darkness. And of course they brought back Donald Pleasance in this as well,
right?
Yeah. With him since Halloween, so
yeah,
it was great to see Donald Pleasance in that.
Yeah, John Carpenter. Yeah. So yeah, it's something after when I bought this again, I had like a DVD that was really bare bones, but I don't know if it even had a movie trailer on it. I think it was just the movie. Maybe it had a trailer on it, but and that it looked kind of terrible. But when I saw this on sale at Best Buy last year, I think earlier this year, and when I saw it, I thought, yeah, I think I'm going to buy that, because the DVD just kind of doesn't do it for me. And this had special features on it, and so I really love it. So, okay, what's your number 7?
Yeah, my number 7 is from 1981, and again, when Carpenter made this movie, he stepped outside of his horror genre and made The Great Escape from New York. The first time the second time he worked with Kurt Russell, and it's a great atmospheric, post-apocalyptic, action movie. But Kurt Russell has some great one-liners in it. That's where he kind of created the Snake Plissken role, which is a classic character in a movie.
Yeah,
I mean that character is, in my eyes, it's right up there with Indiana Jones as far as like an iconic character. And Kurt Russell
he did the character twice.
Did it twice, and
that's why I loved it so much. That's why I love Escape from LA so much. This is the return of Snake Plissken. Yeah, I love that for sure. Okay, so my number 7 is going to be this one, Christine.
Nice.
I love Christine.
I do too.
Just about a car that goes crazy and kills people, and it's about all you need, really. And this is based on what Stephen King.
Correct, Stephen King novel. Yeah.
Better than Maximum Overdrive, in my opinion. Maximum Overdrive,
way better.
Bad, but
yeah, way better. Yeah.
I love the soundtrack of Maximum Overdrive for sure, but yeah, this is definitely the better of the killer cars, killer vehicles kind of movie. So yeah, love that one. Okay, what's your number 6?
I don't think you'll ever guess. You're never going to guess, guys. What could it be? It's Christine.
Christine, there you go.
Now, one thing I want to say, give props on this movie is Keith Gordon's performance in this.
Right.
Is superb. He's great in this. His performance from going from nerdy guy to sinister man in this movie was great, and loved it. But yeah, Christine is again, Carpenter's music builds in this. It creates the suspense. I mean, it made you kind of afraid of an old vehicle to come and get you and kill you. So yeah, that's my number 6 as well.
He was in Jaws too, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. Keith Gordon was in Jaws 2 as well. Yeah. He was in The Legend of Billie Jean, and he was in Back to School.
Right.
Rodney Dangerfield.
That's where I forgot about that. With Rodney Dangerfield.
He was a melon.
That's right. So that was your number 7?
That was number 6.
Number 6. Okay. I'm gonna say because I can give my 7 already. All right. So my number 6 is They Live. I put it there, so you had it earlier, but yeah, it's definitely that kind of eerie feeling with the sunglasses, and you can see the real faces, and
right.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, like I said, the fight scene is excellent in the movie, and it takes basically Roddy Piper being a pro wrestler, and Keith David he must have some boxing background or something to be able to have that kind of stamina. And obviously they cut and take breaks, but
Right,
a lot of it was
right.
done, kind of seamlessly. So I don't know exactly how they did that, but Roddy Piper obviously knows how to take a punch, and you learn that stuff from pro wrestling. So how to take a hit and how to make it look real, just like an actor has to do. So yeah, love that one too.
Awesome, man. So I guess we're going to move on to number 5.
Okay.
So my number 5 is hold on, bring it up here. So I don't own a copy of this. However, I have watched this movie a lot. It is from 1984.
Okay.
And it stars Jeff Bridges,
Mhm.
and it's Starman.
Right.
Starman. 1984 also stars Karen Allen. And I'll tell you what, Jeff Bridges' performance in this is wonderful. He convinces you that he's from another world, and then he becomes human. And I'll tell you that Carpenter's score in this is an underrated score in this. It's got memorable. His themes in this movie are right up there with like the most memorable John Williams score. Like from like E.T. So I love the music in Starman. I think it's a very underrated movie from Carpenter.
It got really great reviews too. I looked that up today. I think it has like 85% Rotten Tomatoes. And Roger Ebert gave it like 3 out of 4 stars. Like, so Jeff Bridges, he's a great actor. He eventually won an Oscar, but I think he was nominated for several Oscars before he finally won. But yeah, Jeff Bridges is one of my favorites. And his dad was Lloyd Bridges, so he comes from a family of his brothers
and Bo Bridges.
Yeah. So he comes from a family that knows how to fill a screen. So that's a good one. So my number 5 is going to be, I think it might be one of the earliest horror movies I ever saw, and that's The Fog.
That movie, love it.
It's a collector's edition. Yeah, I had this on.
Yeah, that's
DVD.
a Screen Factory, isn't it?
Yeah. I had this on DVD just like earlier this year, and when I saw that, like, I hate the way the DVD looked, so I looked online and saw that they have collector's edition, so I had to get this because if it's a movie I really love, it's worth buying on Blu-ray or 4K, just to have the best quality you can, just so you can see it the best way possible. So yeah, definitely The Fog. As Adrian Barbeau, has Jamie Lee Curtis is in it. Yeah, a lot of stars are in this movie, and
Tom Atkins is in it too.
Right. Tom Atkins from Halloween 3, and he was in Creep Show, and yeah, he's been in everything. I think. Yeah, I think they do a featurette on this as well, where they kind of show some of the sites where, like the lighthouse, and show that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's one of my favorites. Okay, what's your number 4?
Yeah, my number 4 is from 1994, and it is In the Mouth of Madness.
Okay. Yeah.
This is John Carpenter's love letter to H.P. Lovecraft. I love this movie. Sam Neill stars as the writer in this movie, and it's a mix of like a King Lovecraft story all weaved into one. It's brilliant. I love this movie when I first saw it, and it cracked my top 4 here.
Yeah, it's one of the scarier Carpenter movies, right? Just kind of eerie.
Oh, I agree. Definitely, it's one of the scarier creeper of his films, right up there with Halloween and The Thing. Definitely, as far as scares. Yeah,
we all know Sam Neill from Jurassic Park, and he's been around forever. But so that's a great choice too. So my number 4, talked about this earlier, but it's Big Trouble in Little China. It's like I said, got together with people to see it at a midnight showing, and love the action in this. There's something about the fight scenes and Kurt Russell's really funny in this movie. He's kind of serious, but he's kind of a fool in the movie, but he kind of gets things done sort of too by accident, you know. But yeah, he has kind of that kind of John Wayne kind of swagger that people his age, definitely, like my stepdad, you know, there's people that are a little bit older, 60s something. They love John Wayne back in the day. That was their hero, especially seeing, you know, cowboy movies and stuff. And so of course he's gonna kind of have that John Wayne kind of swagger in this, and it's just part of what makes it funny. And yeah, love that one for sure. Okay, and what's your number 3?
Number 3 is from 1980, and it's The Fog.
Okay.
Again, atmospheric, probably his most atmospheric movie he's ever made. The music is awesome. John Houseman's monologue in this is great. All the performances are great. Adrian Barbeau is really good in this. And the ending is phenomenal in this movie. It's top notch with Blake coming,
right,
you know, and his pirates coming, the ghosts of them coming in, and then the way it ends with how Holbert getting beheaded, you know, at the end. I mean,
spoiler.
That's that's the end. Yeah, that's my number 3.
Yeah, and the Blake is played by Rob Bottin, the makeup effects artist, plays Blake.
Right. Yeah, Blake is played by Bottin. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Rob Bottin was like really tall. I think he's like 6'5", something like that, 6'6", something like that. He's really tall, and I guess they felt like he would look like the most menacing character in the suit with the mask with the red eyes. But yeah, I watched that. Yeah, I bought that The Fog on the collector's edition earlier this year. Also, I hadn't seen it in a little while, but it definitely holds up for me anyway. You know, some people may not find it as scary, but it's, like I said, I think it might be one of the first horror movies I ever saw. So it's definitely left an impression on me. You know, 1980, so we were both 7 years old at the time. So you
right. I was probably a little older when I saw that, but yeah, it stuck with me. I was probably 10 when I watched it, and yeah, it's stuck with me all these years, and I love it. It's definitely in my top 3 of Carpenter films. And but yeah, I agree, it still holds up. That remake was awful. I thought the remake.
I've never seen it.
They messed that one up big time.
I've heard it's really bad, so I was like, I don't know if I want to see that. I love that movie so much that the remake would just ruin it for me. But
oh, you never watched the remake then?
I've never seen it.
Yeah, no. It's better that you don't.
But I don't. I do myself a favor. Yeah, I think the only reason why I didn't see it in the theater, obviously, but my aunt and uncle had cable. They had like HBO when they lived in like an apartment building, and they had HBO in their apartment. It's before most of Indianapolis. I think most of Indianapolis didn't get cable to like 1984 in residential neighborhoods, but a lot of apartment buildings had cable back then, like HBO. So that's how I got to see a lot of these movies when I was really young, too young.
Yeah, same here. Dad got cable when I was about 8 years old. Yeah. And so that's how I got to see a lot of these horror films. They were played endlessly on cable television.
Yeah. You had older brothers to kind of guide you along a little bit. I just had my aunt and uncle, and just they love horror movies and stuff. So
right.
I got to see those movies. Yeah. Spend a night over there, you know, watching movies I was way too young to see. But you know, The Fog, when you see something really young like that, it's gonna stick with you for a long time. So
right. Yeah. Or I'd go to the movies and we'd always buy tickets for PG movies and then sneak into R-rated movies.
You could do that back then. I mean,
right.
Right now you can probably get away with it because a lot of theaters don't have the staff to check that stuff. But you could probably buy a ticket and sneak into a movie. You know, after not that I'm really encouraging kids to do that, but you could probably sneak into a movie and see something that something else. You know, even if you're underage. You know, so I don't know. I don't want to encourage people to do wrong things, but you know, you never know. You got to think, though, and you know, if you're determined to do it, you'll do it. So my number. Let's see. That was your number 4?
That was my number 3.
Number 3. Okay, so my number 3. You'll probably have this much higher than me, but these top three could go in any order really, but depending on the time of year, what kind of mood I'm in. But my number three is The Thing. We talked about this in our horror rankings.
Yeah.
You know, Rob Bottin, like I said, Rob Bottin did the makeup effects in this. Kurt Russell, Keith David's in this, just like, you know, he was in They Live as well.
Yeah.
You know, this movie is scary. I mean, not knowing who's been changed, you know, kind of the body snatchers kind of theme. You know, you just
it definitely borrows from that, but it just took it to a new level. It definitely did. The body snatchers story's been done lots, and it hadn't been done a lot when this came out. They had the 78 Body Snatchers remake with Sutherland, which was phenomenal. It was great.
Yeah. It's something I can watch at any time for sure. Like I said, Rob Bottin did the makeup effects in this, and I don't know if I'm not sure if he was nominated for an Oscar for this, but he probably should have won an Oscar for it. But
yeah, I don't know if he was. That's a good question. I need to research that and see if he was. Yeah, I'm not sure. He definitely should have been nominated. He should have won one for it.
Yeah. Makeup effects are great in this, and it's like, I think with like his protege, he's the protege of Rick Baker, and I think for American Werewolf in London, I think they made a special category for him. I think they brought like makeup effects like that they
did. He won they did that for the King Kong remake,
right? That
he won a special Oscar for that.
Yeah, when you're like, your work is so great that they don't have a category for it. They think, well, this guy really deserves, guy or man or woman deserves recognition for their work because it's so extraordinary. It's something no one's ever seen before. So we'll just make a category for them and give them an Oscar because they deserve it. So yeah. Okay, what's your number two?
Number two is The Thing.
Oh, number two.
Yeah,
definitely.
Man, it's the greatest monster movie ever made. I said that in the top 10 horror films of all time. It's the greatest creature feature movie ever made. It will never be topped. It's I'll repeat myself. It's scary. It's perfectly paced. Some people complain that it's too much of a slow burn. I like slow burn horror, and this is number two for me.
Kind of has an open ending as well, but it has that they're all trapped on, in the snow. They can't get off this, this area. They can't get out. So it's just a perfect kind of isolation kind of theme there, and not knowing who the killer is, and who's been changed, and who to trust. It's just like kind of paranoia. Is a great.
The most suspenseful scene is the blood. When he's got the flame to the blood, samples of everybody, and that
thing jumps out. That's really a great scene. Okay, so my number two. Well, I know what your number one is.
It's pretty obvious now.
My number two is Halloween. Surprising, right?
Right.
Halloween is my number two. Yeah, it's just something I've got to watch every October, just because to me it's tradition to watch Halloween, and it never gets old, and I can watch it more than just once a year or two. But yeah, this is the one where Jamie Lee Curtis came to Indianapolis for the 35th anniversary.
Right, that's where I met her. I met her at that convention. That's where I got her autograph. Yeah,
it was at a Horror Hound, and I don't know if she's done conventions since then, but at that time it was rare for her to make an appearance at a convention.
It was the one and only one. She'll never do another one.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, one and only.
She had done any after, but it was for a charity, and so that makes it.
Yeah, it was for the California Children's Hospital.
Okay.
It was for a great cause. All her money went to that. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, a lot of fans just were really thrilled to see her, and like I said, if it's that rare, then to see Jamie Lee Curtis in person, then that makes it even more special. But yeah, of course we gotta love that one. But okay, what's your number one? Halloween. Yeah,
this is my number one is Halloween. This is my newest Halloween shirt from Fright Rags. So there you go. And I got the Halloween 1978. What can I say? There's not much more to say about this film. We've all said it before. It's the probably the most influential slasher movie ever made, second to maybe Psycho. So it's
the great theme music.
the greatest horror theme ever recorded, most memorable for sure.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, you hear that theme, you definitely know what it is, and you get excited about it. Okay, so my number one, you haven't said it yet, so I'm gonna put this on.
Oh, here we go. Steve's got the costume. He's got
I've got props. So yeah, Skip from New York. He said, you know, this is something that I've watched when I was a little kid, and you know, could be Halloween or anything, but definitely this. You know, I've always loved the character, and so Snake Plissken.
Steve, I didn't think that you're dressing up as Captain Ron there.
Okay. No, Snake Plissken, definitely. Always love this, and this is a collector's edition. I think I did have another Blu-ray that was, I don't think it had any special features on it, but you know, this is a collector's edition of it, and yeah, definitely love this one for sure.
Yeah, that's a great choice. I'm actually surprised it was your number. I didn't know that would be your number one, Steve.
Yeah,
I thought Halloween would be.
Yeah, I thought so too. But I kind of like that movie more. But Halloween is definitely something I like during the. Let me take this off.
Okay, Captain Ron.
I can't see it through one eye, but yeah. So I made a mistake that we were going to do our honorable mentions first, and I got right into the top 10. But what's your?
Yeah, we can go those. Yeah, I've got a couple. The first one is from 1987. It's Prince of Darkness, which is in your top 10.
Yeah, sure.
Again, a great slow burn horror film, great building music. It could make anybody's top 10 of his. And in fact, I think it's made some top 10 all-time horror films. Some people love it that much.
Yeah, we happen to know somebody that has another top 10. So yeah,
that's right. That's right.
So, I mean, it's like you say, you know, it's all subjective. You know, what has an effect on you, what you see when you're younger and sticks with you for a long time. For me, this is something that kind of had to grow on me after a while, you know. And now I've seen it now. Alice Cooper in it. It's better every time I see it. So this is the collector's edition, like I said.
Right. And then the other one in my honorable mentions is from 1995 is Village of the Damned, which I thought was a great remake. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. And I love the original as well. It's not as good as the original, but it's a really good remake, and I had to give it an honorable mention.
And we all grew up with Christopher Reeves and the Superman, so you know, and it was sadly, I think he had the accident on horse riding happened, you know, within 2 or 3 years after this, and he was paralyzed for life, but he didn't live, you know, I don't think he lived more than 10, maybe 15 years after the accident happened. I think less than 15 years he was gone, so he died really
young. Sadly. Yeah, he's missed, definitely.
My honorable mentions, so you already mentioned Starman, which is great, but also have Assault on Precinct 13. It's like a second movie.
That was his first theatrical movie, is that right?
Well, no, he did Darkman before this, or Dark Star.
Before, or Dark Star. I guess, yeah, Dark Star was before that. Okay.
This is written by the guy
that's right.
Alien, the guy that co-wrote Alien.
Dan O'Bannon.
Dan O'Bannon, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't remember names. We're not older. Sometimes names don't come to mind right off. But the third one is Vampires.
Right. Yeah, which is good. I like that movie too.
Yeah, it's probably the last one I've really liked. I mean, he did like The Ward. The Ward was his last movie. I didn't put that in my honorable mentions, but I think that's his last movie. So last movie he's ever done. So
yeah,
which is it's not bad, but so that's all we got. Do you have anything else to add? I know you've got the autographs from Jamie Lee Curtis and John Carpenter.
Yeah, I do back there. Yeah, I showed them off last time, but yeah, yeah, no, I just look forward to doing more videos with you, Steve, and yeah, we'll compile another top something and
I
be
thought it was a
back
great
on the air
topic.
with y'all.
Yeah, if we can get another topic that's just fun like that. John Carpenter is fun. Horror movies are fun. So we'll have to come up with
Yeah, and
something.
if you guys have any suggestions for us on categories, leave a comment.
Put in the
Like,
comments.
subscribe to Steve's channel as well. We appreciate you watching and supporting the channel here, and we'll definitely be back to give a lot more good content for you guys to enjoy.
Yeah, and everybody, if you want to leave your top 10 John Carpenter movies, share those. And he's got some good TV movies that we didn't mention, but your top 10 may be completely different from ours, so that's fine too. But please consider subscribing, and everybody have a good night, and I'll talk to you later, Wade.
See you, Steve. Have a good night.
Good.